So hi everyone, I'm Jeff Clavier. I used to be French, I'm now American. For the past... Thank you, Martin. Thanks for having me. You didn't know I had become American, otherwise I wouldn't have gotten in.
Here's to the Bank Europe versus Silicon Valley.
I still kept the French passport. So anyway, so for the past 12 years I've been in the Valley. For the past 12 years I've been in the Valley. 8 years ago I started one of the original micro VC firms called SoftTech, and we've done 126 investments in the past 8 years. Roughly we do 20-ish investments a year. We invest an average of $400,000 out of a $55 million fund. And our goal is to find the best entrepreneurs having a really interesting disruptive ideas in a large market. And mostly that means for us software, consumer internet. So we've done a lot of next generation commerce. Fab was one of our investments at the seed stage. We do a lot of SaaS, both infrastructure and vertical, and we do a lot of mobility. I wanted to add a couple of things to what Hans-Peter said, because I really believe that it's now the age of hardware, and there is actually something called open source hardware, which is going to happen for real. So about 4 years ago, I seeded a company called Fitbit, which is a next generation podometer, which, to be candid, almost died 3 times because what Hans-Peter described is true. It's easy to get prototypes going, but when you actually have to produce those things in mass, whether it's 10,000, 30,000, or like the Fitbit, 500,000, it actually requires a lot of discipline in contract manufacturing. And until you figure that out, you're still far away from world domination. If you do figure it out, then it's open to you. However, you now have incubators that help you, like the PCH one, to develop those companies. And so had we had this opportunity with Fitbit, we would have actually gone faster to world domination, which we'll get to anyway. So what I'm really passionate about is obviously meeting every day a bunch of super smart entrepreneurs, much smarter than I am, otherwise I would be an entrepreneur in a VC, and figuring out through their eyes what the future is going to be. And the thing which is a bit frustrating in our job is that we see roughly 3,000, companies, entrepreneurs a year, and we say no 99.7% of the time, so we can say yes 20 times. However, when we do that, we hopefully will give people money, which for us in the Valley is more of a commodity, and a lot of help, support, advice, network, so that they can get to the next stage of their startup, raise a lot of money, and hopefully be successful. And I think that it's something which can happen now pretty much all over the place. And even though it's true that you can build a company potentially faster in the Valley because you have a lot of resources, it's also very, very challenging to hire developers, marketing talent, designers, all the parts that you need to really be successful. And so what we've seen recently over the past year or year and a half is new kinds of startups develop, ones which have maybe the CEO and a couple of guys in the Valley and then a back end, which could be in Argentina, which could be in Madrid, which could be in London. And so that gives you sort of an opportunity to build hybrid companies mixing Europe advantages, availability of talent and potentially lower cost, and still the traction in the Valley. And I often say that I invest 100% in the US and the rest in Europe, but recently we've done one deal in Madrid, which we're very happy with, and so I know where it is. And of all places, we funded a company in Croatia, in the farming world. And I can tell you that that startup, which is building a back office for the farming world, is going after a gigantic opportunity, and I'm super excited. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Thanks a lot.